everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to talk about Ram and how they kind of secretly have given us a preview of what they're going to reveal and when they're going to reveal the new 2500 and 3500 heavy-duty pickups. On their social media pages, it was kind of funny because I went on the other day and this is on Christmas morning, and I didn't even realize that Ram posted something. It only had like 3,000 hits, and it was a trailer, like a very brief 15, 16-second trailer of the new Ram heavy-duty trucks and how they're going to reveal the trucks. So they're going to do something really unique with Yellowstone. If you follow the Yellowstone television series, they recently wrapped it up after Kevin Costner kind of like went away for a while, and then they finished the series out, and there's going to be spin-off series. But in 2022, this was the biggest television series out there. I mean, it had 16 million viewers for the opening episode for season 5. So it's a huge television show through Paramount and a huge partnership with Ram, because if you're not familiar, on the Yellowstone series, Kevin Costner, his John Dutton character, drove a Ram 3500 Limited that was all decked out. Cole Hauser's Rip Wheeler character drove a Ram 3500 that was all decked out in that. And then Luke Grimes, his Casey Dutton character, drove a Ram 2500 tradesman model with the chrome package because he worked for the state of Montana. So he was a wildlife agent, so you got to see like all different types of heavy duty Rams throughout the series. Dodge helped with like support vehicles for the police, and like some of the other characters, like his son Jamie drove a Dodge Durango, and there was just a lot of like Ram vehicles in the whole production. So there was a huge partnership. Ram has actually released Yellowstone edition vehicles of the heavy duty down in Brazil, to huge success down there, where the series is actually still running. They're catching up with where we are. They had a special edition series down there. And then recently we did an article on Mopar Insiders that Australia, the Ram Trucks Australia brand, they did a Yellowstone model that's actually out in dealers right now as they're closing up their 2024 season, a model year down there. So Yellowstone's a huge part of Ram, and Ram's a huge part of Yellowstone, so it makes sense. Now, the reason why they're kind of doing this stuff is ever since COVID, we've seen a push away from auto shows. Detroit, I personally thought Detroit would be the preview show of where they're going to show this truck off. They've done the big 2019 unveiling there, and I figured that's where they're going to do it, again. But we're going to see that our first public revealed there for sure, because they're showing at this video that it's only going to be like the official reveal. This pre-recorded video that they're going to reveal is January 7th, and that's a Tuesday. And then Friday on January 10th, I'm going to be in Detroit, hopefully seeing these trucks in person for the first time. So it kind of makes sense, because they want to get a jump and do their own thing where they're not outshadowed by anything else at the auto shows. I kind of understand that whole mantra of what they're doing, but it kind of makes it disappointing because auto shows have really come to like an end of how, like, Detroit used to be the biggest auto show up except for like Geneva around the world, and they used to have every automaker would fight to be there. Now it's just the big three, and I think Kia, Hyundai, Honda, and that's it. So yeah, there isn't a whole lot of brand representation there. Most of the floor space is now like ride and drives for the Bronco, Wrangler, the Jeep products, like their Camp Jeep stuff, and Ram has their own little thing with Camp Jeep. So yeah, there isn't much on display anymore, and I can see why, with all the automakers spending money elsewhere, I can understand why Ram's doing this. I just hope it's not like the Chrysler Halcyon reveal, which lasted like 6 minutes, and they released it at 4 a.m. That was terrible. Like, I got up at 4 a.m. to watch this thing about a pipe dream concept that's never going to make it to market, and I could have just stayed in bed and watched it later. But I'm going to show you this trailer real quick. This is a little teaser campaign. It's 15 seconds long. You're going to see, they don't show us the full truck in this. They're going to show us a 2025 Ram 2500 Rebel. We can tell it's a Rebel because of the wheels and the hood and stuff on it. And they showed us this truck uncamouflaged already through earlier press releases. And then we're going to see another truck, and it's probably the Limited, considering Yellowstone. There's all these horse, agricultural horse themed like trucks where they're pulling like with big time money trucks, and we see chrome badging on the door, which we know is not going to be on the Power Oregon or Rebel. And this lettering shows a dually like a flared side wheel flares in the background. But that's the only video we get of another truck other than the Rebel. So let's take a look real quick. 15-second video. Let's go. So if this is anything like the Ram RHO like reveal, Tim Kuniskis did like a he was there on hand, and they did like a little like skit kind of deal, and then they talked about the trucks. I predict this is going to be very similar to what we've seen there and what we've seen with the launch of the Ram 1500 Rev, Ram Charger, and the regular Ram 1500 lineup, with Tim there being there and talking about stats and stuff real quick. Those videos only lasted maybe 8 to 10 minutes. I don't expect this one to last any longer. The only bad thing about these videos are they're more about like showing the truck off like in different like scenic backgrounds and stuff, rather than actually showing like stats and stuff. And we're going to probably learn more about that in Detroit. So it'll be very interesting. But yeah, it looks like the 7th we're going to be able to see these heavy duties for real. Like I said, don't expect a whole lot of difference in these trucks. These trucks are going to have a different front end styling, like grille styling, different headlights. The front bumpers are the same. All the body panels are the same on the truck. Those trucks that got the Sport Performance Hood in 2023, that's going to be carried over. The new mirrors are still there. They do get new taillights out the back. As for the interior, we're going to see a couple upgrades. We're going to see the 14.4-inch screen come into play. There's not going to be a tungsten model that we know from the dealer guides, and there's not going to be a lot of the premium, like the Klipsch, 20 speaker sound system. We're not going to see that. Massaging seats, we probably will not see those, just because this truck has the same electrical architecture that it's had for a while. So don't expect huge changes, but what's going to be huge is underneath the hood. The 6.4 liter Hemi, the BGE, their big gas engine, will return for sure. That's going to be still paired to a ZF-sourced 8-speed automatic, which is the 8 HP 75 LCV, which is light commercial vehicle version of the transmission, was kind of more beefed up than the one that's in the Ram 1500. We heard that there's some emission changes for that engine because of like carb regulations and stuff, but power should not be changed at all. We'd be surprised if there's a power boost. We'd be surprised if there's a power decrease in that motor, but it should be all emissions-based kind of stuff that changes for that motor. The big change is the 6.7 Cummins. The 6.7 Cummins is going to be a one standard engine across the lineup. It's going to be totally revamped. I talked about this a little bit more on Mopar Insiders, and I'll post a link down to that article as well. But we're looking at glow plugs. We're looking at just a whole bunch of different things to that engine. It's going to be totally revamped. It's going to have cartridge filters instead of screw-off filters. There's a whole bunch of stuff to talk about. And then it's going to be mated to a standard 8-speed Powerline ZF transmission. This Powerline transmission was actually developed by ZF back in 2018, and they used Ram 3500 pickups to actually engineer this transmission. Super smooth shifting. Should allow, compared to the Eisen 6-speed and the outgoing 68 RFE transmission that everybody had problems with in the 2500, this transmission should be way more tougher, way more reliable, way better for fuel economy, smoother shifting. I mean, it'll be night and day difference, I'm sure. And I can't wait to get my hands on one to actually try it. So it's going to be a lot of fun to listen to what the stats are. I don't expect record horsepower and torque. I expect a broader range of torque, but I don't expect these guys to pass Ford right now with the Cummins. So it'll be very interesting. This truck, like I said, I don't expect it to be revolutionary like the 2019 trucks were, but I expect it to be a little bit of a refresh enough to get people more back into like, hey, we need to start looking at Ram, because Ram needs to do something with their heavy-duty trucks. They are not selling like they were. And I think that by having a little refresh, going in, these trucks will probably stay on the market, the 4th gen trucks, until 2028. So Ram's going to have to do a lot to keep interest in these trucks going forward. So it'll be very interesting to see what happens on the 7th and the 10th. And make sure to stay tuned to hdrams.com, moparinsiders.com, and this channel, because when I get to Detroit, I'm going to be shooting a lot of video talking about the trucks and stuff, and hopefully talking to some of the guys that were behind the truck's actual design and engineering. So stay tuned for that. Make sure to hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.